they're going to buy it anyway. They'll buy it from someone else. Like, really, I want you to get this. This is what the data shows, okay? Not everyone in the world wants you or what you have. That's a for sure. We got that. But whatever you are, whatever you give, whatever you do have, if they are in the market for that, if they're looking for a sewing teacher, if they're looking to buy those silk screen t-shirts that say bliss or bless this mess, or if they're looking for a person to teach them Instagram, if they're looking for it, if they are your person, they're buying it from someone else. So if you don't have it to offer, you're doing them a disservice, especially if you have any tiny little inkling that you care a whole lot and that it's possible that if they go somewhere else, they might not get the part of it where you're really invested and really empathetic and really want them to have this awesome experience. They will buy it from somewhere else. And what I learned the harder way, or I guess we all learn it in one way or another this way, but when I started the podcast, right away, people were like, I really like your energy. I really like you. Could you coach me? Can you coach me? I was like, I don't do this. I don't do this. I don't do this. I was music business. I had a music course. I had a music career. I had writing songs. I had my kids. And no. And a year goes by. No. And I'm like the nicest person. I just like talk on the podcast for free. I give away content on Instagram. And every single day I was rejecting people. It wasn't thousands a day, but there was like 4 to 7 people a day in the beginning. I would love if you could, like, I don't do that. I don't charge you anything. You don't have to pay me anything. I'm really nice. And it's like, oh, I went off and bought this DIY course of videos that did nothing for me. And I'm like, oh, well, awesome. Cause they're horrible. They charged you and I would never do. It was like so messed up. And finally, it was like, Kath, they're going elsewhere. Help them get off your butt and like do this thing. You know how to do it. You've done it so many times. And so I began that process. And there were many other courses that came before Made to Do This. There was lots of, trying to fit the thing into the right size keyhole. But I'm so grateful that I went through that messy process. And I'm so grateful I gave myself that grace so that I could actually get over myself. When Daniel Pink was on my show, he said, it is a moral obligation. It is selfish to not sell the thing that you know how to do. It is not okay. God did not give you the ability to understand color for you to keep it to yourself. You weren't given this ability to make this piece of software to save somebody time to keep it to yourself. You weren't given your empathy where you can really help people hear themselves to keep it to yourself. Whatever your thing is, it's not for you. It's for you to give away. And the only way that people will actually show up and receive it is if they invest in it. Otherwise, they won't pay attention to it. It won't matter to them. They won't show up for the thing. They won't value the thing. They won't do anything to interact with the thing. And so we have to give them an ability to have a transformation, to actually move into action, to actually care about the up level that this thing is going to provide them with. And therefore they need some sunk costs. I'm doing a juice cleanse right now for the second time in like a month. If I didn't pay $250 for this 4-day juice cleanse, there's no way I'd be drinking it today. I'd be so over this thing, but there's sunk costs. It's like, well, each of these juices, I know what this costs me. I'm not going to just throw it down the sink. So thank you, Raw Juice, for making me pay for this because you know me and you know I actually wouldn't complete this unless I did. Okay. So we really need to keep playing with this. We have a lot of scarcity mindset and you think of yourself and you're like, I wouldn't buy that from so-and-so. I wouldn't buy that from so-and-so. Okay. But you've bought a lot of things from a lot of other so-and-sos and your people are going to say that about you. Oh, I'm so glad she showed up. That was such a lovely thing. I loved making that transaction. It made me feel so good about myself. Oh, I was so excited about this thing or that thing.